hit iPhone.
I'm gonna stop this right here. Some of you guys may have seen this clip before in previous videos, and there's a reason that I keep coming back to it. Let me explain.
And to unlock the phone, I just take my finger and slide it across.
I keep coming back to this keynote because it was such a crazy important time in tech history. Not necessarily just because the iPhone came out, but because it changed phones. It gave birth to not only the iPhone line, but also gave birth to the modern Android, and it shaped what Android was going to become. And we haven't had a moment like that where phones as we know them changed forever. So the iPhone 12, according to the rumors, is shaping up to be a pretty big departure from what the iPhone 11 Pro was. But when you compare the rumored specs from the iPhone 12 to kind of phones in general, it's not really a big jump from anything else that's out there. So it kind of got me thinking, what would a company like Apple have to do to make phones so different again from what we ever thought they were before? So we're gonna call this hypothetical device the iPhone 15. And for this iPhone 15 to be a success and as paradigm shifting as the OG iPhone was, it's gotta have a new form factor. And the iPhone 15, whenever that comes, the flexible display will be perfected. It has to have a beautiful screen to go with it. 120 Hz is standard right now, but imagine 240, the crazy smoothness that we see on displays now, just multiplied by 2. Apple obviously wants to kill ports, so drastic change would be a truly portless phone that has to have crazy fast wireless charging. Face ID underneath the screen. So all that's fine and good, but it's speculation, it's guessing, it doesn't mean anything. But what about that crazy cool technology that we can get right now in 2020? Before we continue, I want to thank this video's sponsor, X-Sheets.
After a long day of gaming, you need rest. And now you can get it with X-Sheets, the only LED-powered bed sheets made for gamers. Enjoy maximum nighttime visibility and supercharge your circadian rhythm. 13 million lumens of soothing night glow. Enhance your resting alertness with preset options. Now with Motion Alarm, know when you're awake. Available now at ExtremeRest.com.
So as much as nobody wants that product to actually exist, I do want to thank this video's real sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, which has now at this point become like a YouTube meme. Here's the general way this works. I know you've heard about it, but it's time that you actually try it. And if you do want to try Raid Shadow Legends, we'll have the link down below. But you, sir or madam, are a champion. And you get to go out into this virtual world and do some battle. Now you can battle online, you can fight other champions, go in different dungeons, you can fight bosses. The more you play, the better your character's going to be. The more silver you'll collect, the more things you can buy, and the more beastly you can get your character. So if you are ready to just give in to Raid Shadow Legends, hit the link down below in the description. And if you're a new player, we got some special stuff for you. So you'll get 100,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 day XP booster, 1 free champion, and not just any champion. You are going to get the Executioner. And now the daily login reward has been doubled from 90 to 180 days. And each day you can claim free rewards from energy refill, silver and gems, to shards, and even a free barbarian legendary champion, Sickle of the Drake. And if you want to know what all those words mean, you should try Raid Shadow Legends. So most of the major manufacturers are working on some version of foldable devices. The 3 main ones that are available here in the US, 2 are by Samsung, the Fold and the Z Flip, and of course Motorola Razr. So all the foldable phones are cool and unique in their own right. Unfortunately, I haven't had that much hands-on time with the Razr. I'm excited to take a look at it, but I have had a lot of time with the Flip and the Fold. And my life will be divided now into BF and AF. Before Fold and after Fold. And these aren't review samples, this or the Flip. I bought both of these because I was really excited about the form factor. I love what the Fold is building into. The screen on the outside is way too small, but opening it up into something bigger is awesome. Having that mini tablet in my pocket when I want to watch a movie or reply to an email on a giant keyboard or watch Netflix at the gym. It's giving me something new, and I really like that form factor with foldables. And I don't think the Fold is where it needs to be yet, where it's for everybody. So that's what Samsung's doing, but that's not the only way to get two displays. LG is now kind of in their second generation of this dual display technology. Essentially, it's a case. And their new LG V60 ThinQ is still a mouthful, but their new dual display tech is still pretty cool and relatively novel. So you get the benefits of that dual display. You can have a keyboard on the bottom and a display on the top without a lot of the negatives. You don't have a crease, for example, in there. It's not nearly as expensive as what you'd have with a truly foldable display. You still have things like an official IP rating, it's more durable, and those kind of things. But you also get some of the downsides too. It's big, it's bulky, there's a gap in the middle. It's not sort of a clear, smooth display like you have on the Galaxy Fold, but it's another way to get that dual screen approach. And Microsoft taking a very similar approach with their foldable, which has now been delayed. Dual screen phones are cool, folding phones I think are even cooler, but both of them are expensive. The V60 is around $1,000. The Fold is, almost $2,000. You have to pay a crazy premium to get that dual screen or foldable experience. But what if you want some of the best that those two form factors have to offer without hardly spending any money? So the Galaxy Fold is a really interesting phone and one that I've been enjoying using, and maybe you're thinking about getting one, but you don't want to spend $2,000 or even want to know if a foldable device is even for you. I have an answer. We got to go back a little bit in a time machine to 2.5 years ago, towards the end of 2017, with this guy. This is the ZTE Axon M. You've probably never heard of it. It was a total flop. It was an AT&T exclusive when it launched. It came out for around $720. You can get one of these now, brand new from Amazon for $200. I'll link to it down below. We got ours from eBay, slightly used, for $100, and it came next day. But what you're gonna get is an experience pretty similar, and in some ways better, than what you get on modern foldables. Now, this is not truly a foldable. The display itself is not bending. It's a dual screen phone with very thin bezels, but you're gonna get a simulated experience for what you would have with the Galaxy Fold, but actually plus a lot more. You can pick on what you want to be shown here. Do you want one image, one website to be shown all the way across both devices? You can do that. Do you want it to be mirrored on both devices? You can do that too. Have two separate things on each screen. You can do that as well. So in some ways, it solves the problem of the Galaxy Fold, having the smaller screen on the outside. And now you get all the benefits of that larger form factor that completely folds away. This is a really good way to test. First, if you want to get in to the foldable or dual display market and see if you want to spend the $2,000 for a Galaxy Fold, or you want to wait for the next generation, you can kind of experience all the really cool benefits of a folding display for honestly about $100. But if your heart is set on that foldable display and you're willing to invest a little bit of frustration and a lot of money to get into the foldable world, Galaxy Fold is still the way to go. So as cool as these phones are now, there are certainly drawbacks. They are insanely fragile. I am terrified to take either of these phones really out anywhere. Insanely expensive, $2,000 and $1,400 if you decide to buy them new. These are more developer editions or widely available proofs of concepts, devices that Samsung is allowing people to buy if they choose to. And you can see where these phones are going, where they're going to evolve to more mainstream devices. You can look at something like the Fold and imagine a bigger screen
on the outside. Imagine an in-screen fingerprint reader and an S Pen, and very easily see this morphing into what will be the Note maybe next year or a few years from now. You can see things like the Flip changing and maybe becoming the Galaxy S line or being a version of the Galaxy S line. You can very clearly see the evolution, and I think that's why I'm so excited about foldables. So sort of be here from the first step into what it's becoming. And we haven't had that big first step for a really long time. Apple came on board with their capacitive screens and on-screen keyboards. Android entered the fray, and you could see that open source availability and what that was going to be. But since Android kind of launched, we haven't had anything that new or exciting that has staying power. And I think that's why these foldables are really exciting to me.